It's a rainy day from where I'm sitting. And apparently it's become even more of a rainy day for many of you Negroes. Because I just caught wind of a case that took place, that we all know, the Baltimore situation that took place back in the spring. I believe this is in April, earlier this year. I believe the officer's name is William Porter. And I'm going to use this as an opportunity to stick this right in one of these Negroes' faces. And a lot of y'all should already know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about this new possibility, new pussy glaze. And this is the same Negro. And I said this a while ago. I said this when this whole thing first took place. I mentioned how that prosecutor trumped up those charges too soon, without a proper investigation, without thoroughly investigating what the hell happened. She trumped up those goddamn charges. And this stupid ass Negro sat back and said to me, he doesn't know about politics and law, and your stupid black ass isn't an attorney. And yet, in the case of Officer William Porter, I'm saying his name properly, the case is a mistrial. Now you have, from what I believe, the jury was mainly consisted of black men and women. And I think maybe 3 whites out of the entire jury. And yet, declared a mistrial. Now I've got no choice but to throw this in his stupid ass face. Just like many things have little by little blown up in his face. Because like I said before, you're dealing with a stupid ass Negro. And just to elaborate once again, because at the time when I made that video back in April, lighting his black ass up for over an hour, one of these monkeys came along and said, well, you know, if you were in a situation and you needed pro bono work and he was willing to help you, you know, no, I would not. Because that dude is by far a dumbass. And I just can't, no, there's just no way in hell you're going to tell me that, I'd rather take my chances by myself than dealing with someone who's that fucking stupid. And this right here, once again, is a slap in the face to this monkey. And to let y'all know, there's not really much I got to say, but furthermore, put my fingers in your face and say, I told you so. To take a bite out of David Carroll's page. I told you, but here's the deal. Because you can say that this has been kind of like a tag team collaboration that's been going on for damn near the past 2 years. Because what the both of us have been saying has come to fruition. It has come to fruition, and right here, it's in front of your face, right here and now. And if this officer walked away, there might potentially be another trial, but chances are that ain't even gonna happen. And he was the one pending the worst charges. Now we know the rest of the officers that were involved in this bullshit, they ain't looking at no time. Now here's what's disturbing pertaining to this whole Freddie Gray case. I'm not going to be too long on this goddamn video, but I do want to say a couple of things. Here's what's disturbing about this. You monkeys went ahead and y'all looted and y'all rioted and y'all had burned down your own communities for a guy who was a drug dealer. That's just strike one. And when you ask the monkey these questions, when you talk to the monkey and say, man, you know, what did your take on what's going on here in Baltimore? The monkey, and then this is what one of these apes said to me on the radio show. Oh man, this is a beautiful thing. This is a revolution. So your stupid, ignorant black ass burning down your own damn community is a good thing. Like now, you know, once again, if they were direct and had some kind of structure and a game plan to what the fuck they were doing, I would still say I don't agree with it, but at least I can see the agenda. The Negro has no fucking agenda. Because once again, the Negro, he's not out in white communities dealing with quote-unquote white supremacy, burning down their neighborhoods. He's not doing that shit. No, he's in his own damn community tearing shit apart. And he believes this is a good thing. He'll tell you, man, this is a revolution. This is how stupid they are. I mean, it's difficult to take the majority of black people seriously because many of them are just that far gone. But this is what they're doing. Now, to outline what took place with this Freddie Gray case, you know, I got to classify this as what it is. I don't feel sorry for the guy. The guy was a dumbass. Am I saying that he deserved to die? No, by no stretch of the imagination. But we can clearly see from the footage of when he was brought into that squad car, the way he had to be dragged into that squad car as if his legs didn't work. And man, let me just say this. I'm going to go on a limb and say that there was nothing wrong with his goddamn legs. And he just wanted to do that just so he wouldn't get arrested. And it also leads me to believe that he caused his own injuries. I'm not saying that he intentionally severed his own spine and broke his own goddamn neck, but I believe throughout the course of him acting like a maniac in the back of that damn paddy wagon, he probably caused fatal injuries to himself. Because I can't see what reason why a police officer would have a reason to go ahead and just snap the guy's neck with his bare hand. I mean, it really doesn't make much fucking sense. I mean, it's not to say that police brutality don't exist. So let me backtrack on that just a bit. But from the footage that we've seen, the cops weren't roughing this guy up. They weren't beating him up. They weren't doing none of the above. But this is just the vibe that I got off of this savage when I looked at him. When I looked at him whining like a baby, when they put him in handcuffs, yeah, yeah, like the embarrassment that he is. I said, okay, man, there's quite a few things about this shit that disturbs me. Here you have a 25-year-old man whining and crying and throwing a fucking temper tantrum like a toddler. I mean, who the fuck does this? But this is the Negro. I mean, first of all, if we take this back into the sources, or into the source, the guy ran and supposedly had nothing on him but a blade, which was legal. So, I mean, the chances are he could have had some kind of drug on him. I don't know, but I will say this much. Let me just bring it back to the source. If he didn't have any drugs on him, then why were you running in the first place? Making yourself looking to be suspicious. That was just number one. You shouldn't have done that. Number two, if you didn't have drugs on you, and this once again just shows you the failure of the education of black people, because it lets you know that many black people don't know their goddamn rights. Now, a cop can't suddenly search you for no apparent reason unless they have a warrant. And if they search you, more than likely, even if there's something on you, it can't be admissible because you didn't consent to them searching you in the first place. But many black people, once again, don't know their rights, so this is how they get caught up into these damn situations. Now, let's just go ahead and run with the next scenario and say that he didn't have nothing on him, and he just decided to run anyway, because him running is not a reason for him to be arrested, but I just say you make yourself look suspicious, and, you know, they tell you this when it comes down to dealing with dogs. Don't run from a dog because a dog is going to only chase you. That's just what, I mean, it's common sense. So this guy decides to make a run for it. And if he had nothing on him, the knife that he had was legal. So they wouldn't have been able to keep him in jail for any length of time anyway. He would have been dismissed and walked out and let him out of our fucking prison because we have nothing to hold him on. So in this case, wouldn't it be within your best interest to just cooperate and do what you got to do, get you an attorney? You probably would have gotten one for free any goddamn way. You probably wouldn't have even been there that damn long in the first place. Probably would have been in there, and once they realized, okay, the knife is legal, we can't keep him or nothing, he probably would have been out the same day, give or take. But no, this guy decides to give a difficult time to police officers as they're arresting him. And here's the deal. Once they decide to arrest you, you're going to jail. Once they got the handcuffs on you, there's no point in resisting because you're only making matters worse for yourself. And that's when they can actually trump up charges on your black ass Negro. But once again, blacks, especially black men, the thinking compatibility, don't have it. So now you have this situation where you see this guy being dragged. He has to be carried into the back of a paddy wagon. A guy who has a known history for, you know, throwing himself up against walls or trying to kick out police windshields so he can escape, or faking injuries so he wouldn't have to go to jail. So is it a far stretch of the imagination that this guy was acting like a child throwing a temper tantrum in the back of that paddy wagon? Here's the goddamn deal. Smart people will tell you is that you have a get out of jail free pass, but there's only a limited amount of get out of jail free passes that you have. So don't use them all in one shot because you're going to regret it. Especially if you're doing shit you ain't supposed to do. So a get out of jail free pass to fake an injury, I need to go to a hospital so you don't go to jail. Okay, you did it one time. Now you're locked up again. So the more you continue to keep pulling this and pulling the same stunt over and over again, guess what? Now that get out of jail free pass is revoked, and now you became the boy who essentially cried wolf. So now nobody takes your black ass serious when you get caught up in these damn situations. So now, even in the case where this happened, this is what my theory is. The savage was in the back of that paddy wagon, acting like the savage that he was, throwing himself around, trying to fake an injury so he can go to a hospital so his black ass wouldn't have to go to jail. And like I said, once again, had he just simply went ahead, well, first of all, had he not ran in the first place, this probably wouldn't have even happened. Had he simply just cooperated, he probably would have been out of jail within that same day, possibly within the first hour if they knew the law. But once again, we're going to slide that one to the rug because we know black men don't like to think too much. So now in this situation where, you know, you have a situation where he's throwing himself up against the wall, that supposedly there was another person in there. I wonder why the other person didn't get injured, or that he didn't wind up dead, or whatever the hell happened. And now this guy is asking for help because he injured himself, and now it's to a point where who's going to take you seriously, Negro? No one's going to take you seriously because you have a pattern of doing this. So even now, at the point in time where you really need legitimate help, no one takes your black ass serious because this is what you're known for doing. But black men can't seem to think like this. They can't seem to figure this shit out. And it just shows you, I mean, it's just the lack of thinking compatibility that many of these Negroes have is absolutely astounding. Situations that are completely avoidable. If you leave it up to the savage, it takes the worst toll. And you think that all of this chaos and carnage that has taken place right there in Baltimore, all of these murders that have taken place, I think over 200 plus murders since the spring of this year so far, has taken place, possibly even more. That's just what I can remember off of the stats that I've been given. So now you have all of this chaos that has taken place within that city alone, and these Negroes, they're happy with that. Y'all are marching and rallying for a guy who, I mean, all of this was at his own hand. All of this chaos took place at his own hand. For illegitimate reasons and illegitimate purposes, y'all found yourselves burning down y'all fucking city, and y'all are proud of that. Now, I can be more or less understanding if y'all were dealing with the Tamir Rice case, which is something that many of y'all should be dealing with, but y'all don't care to deal with that. I have not seen no videos from you savages thus far, and I'm talking about the shine, the bow tie wearing, bean pie eating shine, who's always declaring glaze on somebody's fucking opinion because he don't like what they say. The minute they make a video, he feels he can go and make his rebuttal. Here he goes with his stupid ass video. I mean, I've never seen such bullshit in my goddamn life. But I figure the cases that y'all will be sitting on top of are the case of a 12-year-old boy being gunned down by a police officer before he even had a chance to get his hands in the air. I mean, I figure y'all will be dealing with that. But no, y'all are looting and rioting and tearing down fucking cities over fucking criminals. Freddie Gray. Y'all are out here destroying shit. Oh man, we gotta build a community center. I mean, what? Did y'all do the same thing for Tamir Rice? I mean, this is what makes y'all look completely fucking stupid. And this is why nobody takes your black asses seriously. Black Lives Matter? The minute you idiots believe that Black Lives Matter, that's when the shit will change. But I keep on trying to explain to you monkeys. I tell you pussies time and time again. I keep on trying to explain to you pussies because this is what the majority of black men are. I'm just going to classify it for what the fuck many of y'all are. Bona fide, soft ass, pussy begging, simp ass bitches. This is what y'all are. You niggas don't want to amount to nothing. The only thing you niggas want to do is be the next Martin Luther King to give some equivalent to the I Had a Dream speech. You niggas ain't trying to do nothing. Y'all just want to be known for giving a speech that resonates for years to come on in. Y'all don't want to be known for taking no kind of action because I know how y'all are. Y'all are soft. Y'all are bona fide bitches. You have no balls in between your legs. You won't check legitimate issues that take place right there in front of your own damn faces. And you Negroes are upset with how Officer Daniel Hoffcloth can do what he can do. I'm going to go deal with that in another video, but I'm going to put a pause on that for a second.